Traders! Stop thinking you know where this market's gonna go and pay attention to price. Something important is happening in this market right now. Bitcoin demand is so strong that price never even had to pull back to revisit support. Buyers are stepping in above previous levels, and that tells us a lot about intent. Let me show you why this move isn't random and how Bitcoin and Ethereum are painting a crystal clear picture. Let's go! Before we get into the charts, let's talk about what's happening around the market. First, Senator Cynthia Lummis has announced the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act. For years, blockchain developers have been stuck in an impossible position: either stop developing or risk being treated as money transmitters. This bill aims to remove that uncertainty. That's not price action. That's regulatory clarity, and it matters big when it comes to the bigger picture, especially when it comes to investing and institutional involvement. So you tell me in the comments, what part of this act do you think will have the biggest effect on the market, and what components do you think are the most important? Let me know. Next, we're seeing confidence from insiders. A strategy board member, Carl Rickertson, I know him, just bought 5,000 shares of MSTR at $155.88, nearly $780,000 worth, buying the pullback. That's not retail speculation. That is conviction. I'll tell you what else that is. That's a man with balls, just like me. All right, Michael, enough with the balls. You got me in trouble yesterday with that whole ball thing. Don't blame me, bro. Don't blame me for being a failed comic. Blame your own bad jokes. All right, enough of that. You want to see them again, don't you? No, man, keep them in your pants. I'm pulling them out. This is going to take me a minute. And then, an important update on market structure. The DAMC Act would treat assets like XRP, Litecoin, HBAR, Doge, Link the same way as Bitcoin and Ethereum, as long as they back ETF products starting on January 1st, 2026. That's a major step toward consistency across cryptocurrency asset markets. So while price is moving, the framework around cryptocurrency assets is quietly becoming clearer. Now, let's see how all of this lines up with the charts. Let's start with the Bitcoin daily chart. Demand right now is extremely strong. It's so strong that price never even had to come all the way back to the main support zone. Buyers were willing to step in more aggressively above it. That's an important signal. When buyers front-run support like this, it tells us confidence is high and demand is aggressive, not reactive. And from that re-entry into consolidation, price pushed higher again. That is exactly how strong markets behave. They consolidate, accept value, then expand without giving any opportunity of a deeper pullback or any type of retracement to get a lower risk opportunity. Also, I had specifically talked about the retest of this consolidation high, which now became a new support. That support was reacted off of, and now you can see we pushed beyond the 95K resistance and now hesitating in the area. If this inside bar closes the way it looks right now and we break that inside bar high, that is going to confirm further momentum toward the 100K level, which is a major resistance. Keep in mind, we have a catalyst on Thursday, which is the Senate vote, which could lead to such a move. On the 4-hour time frame, Bitcoin is pushing higher from a bullish moving average crossover support. That moving average structure is being maintained nicely, and price is respecting it perfectly. As long as this holds, the short-term trend continues to be constructive and very bullish. Now, the 2-hour chart. This one I've been highlighting often. I mentioned earlier that if price takes bearish liquidity and then comes back into the order block, that order block would likely act as a starting point. That is exactly what happened. Liquidity was taken, price re-entered the order block, and from there, the expansion was higher. This is textbook. No thinking, just following the plan and letting the market choose the outcome. Now, after a situation like this, where a new high is pushed, it would be wise to wait for some type of pullback on a smaller time frame to see if you can get a lower risk opportunity to enter. Now, that could be the 93K area, as you can see this old resistance here, the breakout area, or it may be like the lower 94K area, which is relative to this old resistance here. So those are levels to keep in mind if you're looking at this on smaller time frames. because in this type of situation, it's very possible you may get a brief pullback before the continuation of this move. Quick update on the trade challenge before we talk about Ethereum. I just took a second trade on Link USDT and it reached all of its profit objectives. So far, both trades in this challenge have been wins. Here's where the account stands right now. 2 trades, win rate 100%, P&L $499.23. Account is up 4.99%, moving from 10,000 toward 100,000. That's the goal. Fully public and transparent. On Link, the reason why I took the trade was simple and process driven. Price was maintaining a clean bullish structure. Then it swept lower liquidity and quickly snapped back, telling me selling pressure was being absorbed. After that, price re-entered a clear bullish order block, which gave me a high probability re-entry rather than chasing highs. I opened the trade on a 15-minute time frame for defined risk, kept risk under 1%, and let structure and liquidity do the work. The goal wasn't to try to know where the market was going or try to outsmart the market or to think I knew where it was going. It was simply about following the plan with a favorable reward risk and then letting the market handle it from there. The Link trade details were simple and controlled. Pair Link USDT. Time frame 15 minutes. Entry between $13.10 and $12.97. Stop loss $12.87. About 1.65%. Profit objective $13.49, which is equivalent to 3%. Risk per trade 1% or less. No over risking, just sticking to the plan, people. Let's move over to Ethereum. On the daily chart, Ethereum is respecting the trend line perfectly. Price is playing out exactly as anticipated. Structure is intact, and nothing here suggests weakness. As long as this trend line holds, the broader Ethereum structure continues to be bullish. On the 4-hour Ethereum chart, this is some of the cleanest price action you will see. Price first engineered buy-side liquidity, then consolidated, then broke out, then came back into consolidation, and then broke out again. This is not random movement. This is controlled expansion step by step. So when you put it all together, Bitcoin demand is front-running support. Daily consolidation resolved higher. Bullish moving average crossover is acting as support. Liquidity grabs lead to cleaner expansions. Ethereum structure continues to be intact, and Ethereum is producing continuation patterns very cleanly. This is not a market struggling. This is a market being absorbed and pushed higher. I'm tracking the entire challenge using Profitz Precision. It's an excellent tool for journaling and accountability. All links are in the description. And make sure you join the free Telegram. I share setups and updates there in advance. I'll see you in the next one.